that you're not paying attention to your friends and family, or, if you're so brave you're overconfident and you're like constantly starting wars that you can't win, or wars that you can win but don't need to. Everything in moderation is more reasonable. I don't really know why Slytherin's ambition in particular is being singled out as this is the bad thing, this is the evil thing, don't do this, as opposed to any of the other houses. J.K. Rowling just hates business majors, that's what it is. It would actually be funny if, most of the people who own shops and stuff in Harry Potter were from Slytherin. Logically, they might be. I mean, logically, if it's people who are ambitious go to Slytherin, Slytherin should be sending most of their people into government or into business. And it's sort of unclear exactly how the wizard economy works. Is the wizard economy big enough if there really are sort of multinational wizard corporations? I mean, somebody's making the Nimbus 2000. It's not clear to me who. It might just be a single wizard, maybe named Nimbus, who makes them. Even though Nimbus clearly is evoking clouds, same with Clean Sweep is evoking sweeping, and Comet is moving fast through the sky. Harry Potter always has a little bit of a quirky way of naming things. So I wouldn't put past them to say that, the Clean Sweep is actually invented by Robert Clean Sweep, or what have you. It's sort of unclear, whether there really are big wizard companies, in the same way that we have in the Muggle world. I would say probably not. We see very little evidence of that, but the most evidence we see, I think, we see stores, certainly. But no one seems to work for companies. They work for Gringotts, so there's banks. We have wand makers who appear to be individual artisans. Presumably hand-making wands or something. And selling them for pennies. I saw this article that was how much each person would make in Harry Potter, and they calculated out Ollivander makes $25,000 a year. It's fuck Ollivander, charge more for your wands. God, $25,000 a year? I mean, seriously. I mean, I think there were some assumptions in the theory that may break down. I think they were sort of assuming that everyone from Hogwarts gets their wand from Ollivander. And I think they were also assuming that, everyone replaces their wand at least once. Or maybe it was even, every 8 years. I don't know. They had some sort of replacement rate on wands. Some assumption they were making. But yeah, he came out to making a very low amount of money. Those assumptions may not necessarily hold. For instance, I think they were sort of assuming that the only wizards are the wizards in Hogwarts, but also that all Hogwarts wizards get their wands from him. Neither of which are necessarily true assumptions. It could be that many wizards are homeschooled. I don't really know. If many wizards are homeschooled, and only some wizards, maybe Muggleborns and prestigious pureblood families, or families in the tradition of it, go to Hogwarts, then maybe there are other people also buying wands for their homeschool children. It's unclear. Doesn't seem likely that J.K. Rowling was sort of envisioning that to be the case. I don't know that there's anything in the text as we have it that precludes that. And that does, help with some other sort of considerations about how many wizards are there really? Are there really only 20 wizards in a particular year, born a year in the whole UK. That's so few wizards. It's just sort of wondering how they can have a functioning society with only 20 wizards in a given year. It's only like, I don't want to do the math out, but I feel like at most a few thousand wizards in all the UK, maybe less. Maybe even just a few hundred wizards in the entire UK. Like 700 wizards. You can certainly have a functioning community with that few wizards. I don't know that you can have a functioning society with that few wizards. Especially like they show like people who work at like the Ministry of Magic, and their description is if it's like huge crowds of wizards coming in and out. But if there's only like 2,000 wizards in all of the UK, like how many of them work for the government? Is it like a quarter of the population works for the government? Actually, the government in the United States employs a lot of people. I'm pretty sure they are the biggest single employer in the United States, and I think the only other single biggest, but like by a wide margin. I think they do employ something like 15 or 20% of the public. So maybe those numbers aren't actually that ridiculous to say. You have 2,000 wizards, 500 of them work for the Ministry of Magic. Not necessarily in like. Sorry, I need a drink. Ministerial roles, but that's sort of like minor policeman type roles. It's not clear that there is like a wizard police. There are the Aurors that go after dark wizards, but they don't go after every crime. You have like Ron's dad, who goes after people who mess around with Muggle artifacts. And that's sort of a thing that, like in our world, certainly a government official would do it. Very possibly the police. Although he's probably supposed to be more sort of like a fish and game officer or something like that, equivalent of that. But he's not a police officer, he's just a guy who goes and inspects those sorts of things. But yeah, like it's unclear to me that there's actually like a general magical law enforcement. Come on, we need the Sword of Kings. Let's do this. Sword of Kings. Handyman PvP was here very briefly. He is no longer here. Limo. Looks like my wife's gonna be home real late. She hasn't told me that, just it is real late for her to get home. And she texted me like a picture of her at a party at my daughter's daycare. So I'm interpreting that as we are not going to be home for a while. Come on, Sword of Kings! Sword of Kings! Gotta get it! Not yet. I'm gonna be so happy when I get it. It's gonna be worth the payoff. It's gonna be like, oh. Okay. Come on, let's do this. This battle. We're making it happen. I think ultimately you're probably not really supposed to think too much about those sort of practical concerns in Harry Potter. How many wizards are there really? Who's making these wizard products? How are people actually making a living? I think it's just sort of presumed to work. And honestly, like, I'm sure J.K. Rowling put some thought into it, but I'm also sure that she didn't, like, actually, like, study real economics to make sure that she could accurately figure out, you know, whether or not the price that she listed for a wand is an actual price that, given how many wands are sold, Ollivander could support himself and live. Like, there are probably some authors who would do that, but nothing against J.K. Rowling, because I don't think that would be necessary. I don't think that she did that. I don't think that's the sort of world building she did. She apparently claims, if I'm not mistaken, to have planned out everything that happens from the start in Harry Potter. I'm not sure that I buy that. She can claim it. I'm not sure that I buy it, because, like, for one thing, like, I feel like the way the invisibility cloak functions is somewhat inconsistent in the books, and I feel like if the invisibility cloak functioned inconsistently, it can't possibly have been intended to be a super powerful artifact from the very start. She would have been more careful about making sure that it always functioned correctly and properly. There are other things. It's just like, I feel like if she really had everything planned up from the start, there'd be more ties and foreshadowing and whatnot than there is. Like, there is a lot. But, like, I reread the books very recently, and I remember when I reread them, to me it sort of felt like around book 4 to 5 was when she sort of figured out where she was going with this, and where you really started to see it sort of tying together. And, like, maybe that was on purpose, not so much that, she didn't know where she was going at the start, but she didn't want to introduce too much of the ultimate plot before she got there. I would believe that she, had a loose idea of what was going to happen. But, like, I feel like the biggest thing is I'm not sure that I believe that she intended Deathly Hallows from the start. That's the biggest thing. I definitely believe that she intended Voldemort to be the villain from the start, and for Harry to be the one who had to kill him by sacrificing himself. The Horcruxes, I can understand that maybe she had that intended from the start. Maybe. The Deathly Hallows, I have a very hard time buying that she intended that from the get-go. It just, they seem so tacked on at the end to me. Especially because, like, we don't even see any of them other than the invisibility cloak until the last book. Like, that ring does not exist until, I guess not the last book, but, I think it's the second to last book when the ring first shows up. When Snape kills Dumbledore. I think that's when that ring first shows up. We don't find out it's a hollow until the next book. If it is, I think it is. I'm like spoiling Harry Potter while playing Earthbound, but spoiling it badly because I can't remember the details. It's the best kind of spoilers, where someone blurts something out that would piss a bunch of people off if it were true, but it may not be true. Yeah, like, it stretches the imagination. And like the Elder Wand, like, we have no indication that the Elder Wand's a thing until the final book. No indication whatsoever. And like, it's all predicated on something that happened in the book prior. like when no one